Welcome back to another episode of the Dosage podcast. It is episode 133. Good Lord, that's a lot of podcasts. We're going to be talking about tonight the year 2018 in gaming. I have with us Cody, the Maverick King.
Oh, you looking thicky.
Yes, we're keeping the excitement going from 2017. A whole year later, here we are with that same energy. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Hi, Tyrone.
Why'd you call him that? I never heard you call him by his full name.
I never call him. Well, I never say his name correctly, and I didn't right there either.
How is it pronounced then?
If I tell you, then then I would have said it. So
He said Tyrone.
it's kind of like if you put a hyphen after Ty. That's what it sounds like.
He's a tyrant. He's a Tyran. He's tearing. He's tearing me apart. I'm with you.
I loves when we raid other people and he follows and they always say his name wrong every single time. I think one person said it right. He was so happy about it.
Yeah, I could see
I just
that.
want to point this out. I don't know why, but Impact Wrestling only has 34 viewers right now
Ouch.
on Twitch. Yeah,
How
it's
the
on my
mighty
little
have
sidebar.
The mighty have fallen.
34 people watching their Twitch.
Well, I mean, it's not live though. They're just doing like reruns.
It's true.
Go to hell.
What do they got going on? Once.
He said go to hell, by the way.
Oh, it's broken. That's why. It's just a black screen. So
34
there's
people
30.
are watching a black screen.
It dropped down to 30, but yeah, 30 people are watching a black screen
There are more people watching a black screen over our content.
right now. Yep,
Damn
It's
it.
pronounced
you would not be
Tyrone.
wrong.
Oh, when you know you're doing something wrong. Oh, well.
They're just more
Wait.
thicky.
Was I kicked off this year?
Were you kicked off?
Yeah, I didn't get an invite, so or an introduction, I should say.
You had to go
I was
potty.
just wondering. I was just wondering if I should go to bed.
I heard you during the break. You said you had to go potty.
You did say that.
You started anyway, and you just started
It's
anyway.
pronounced
It's
Yeah,
fine.
because you're the one that's like TikTok,
It was-
we're on a, we gotta go. You're like the little white rabbit in the fucking Alice in Wonderland.
Wow, okay.
Are you not?
It's happening.
I was teasing. Let's move on.
Welcome to Everyday with TNA. There's a new show. Anyways, 2018, episode 133. Coincidentally, we are 33 this year, Lana and I. Cody, how old were you in 2018?
How old am? What? That was 3 years ago.
Yes.
So I was 24.
A baker's dozen. Look at that.
Isn't it Baker's dozen 13?
It is. But
Yeah,
don't-
Baker's dozen's 13.
don't
Yeah, it's
2
not-
dozen is 24. Trev.
No
2
matter
dozen.
what number he
You
was
tried.
going to say, I was going to say a baker's dozen. That's the joke.
I was either 24 or
Um,
25.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
I'm 27 now, so whatever the math ends up to be.
Tyrion was 17. In chat. Let's talk about the
Tyrion?
notable... Tyrone. He's the tyrant. 2018 notable events. Video game peripheral maker Mad Catz was reestablished. They're notable for things like instruments for like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, as well as many other controllers. You would find them as the cheaper alternative to first-party controllers. A mass shooting occurred at a Madden NFL 19 tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. Why, of course, in Jacksonville, you say. With the shooter a participant in the tournament who lost, killing 2 people and injuring 10 others before committing suicide. This was actually happened during a live stream for the tournament.
Yeah, I remember this.
This was awful because I was, watching footage from this, and it was terrifying and awful, and condolences to everyone affected by this horrible, horrible tragedy. Telltale Games announced a majority of studio closure, laying off more than 90% of its staff and canceling several in-progress games. They are notable for the Walking Dead games, as well as Batman, The Wolf Among Us, and so many others. Sony Interactive Entertainment revised its policy on cross-platform play and allows PlayStation 4 players of Fortnite Battle Royale to matchmake across all supported platforms. This is a huge move for progress in cross-platform gaming that we have today. Skybound Entertainment acquires the rights and capabilities to finish off Telltale's work in progress, The Walking Dead, the final season, after Telltale's shutdown. All hail and all rejoice them finishing out the story that had already had 1 or 2 chapters in the final season released, and then they were just not going to do the others. How are you going to do that to us? But thankfully, we got a conclusion. It was announced video game guide creator Prima Games would be shutting down after 28 years in business. So that was huge. Anyone that ever bought a strategy guide at any point probably bought one from Prima Games. And lastly, a notable thing that happened this year, to controversy and a lot of complaints, but I was happy. The PlayStation Classic came out. Yay! That's it. Those are the notable events. Honorary mentions. Lana, do you have any?
I do not.
Cody.
I was lucky I made it to 10.
Yeesh. Ty's gonna unsubscribe. Why are you gonna unsubscribe? What is happening?
You said his name wrong.
Oh, pfft. I've been calling you Captain Frowns for how many weeks? Are you mad about this? Well. Jeez. Virtual hug. Here's a bridge. Get over it. Honorable mentions, Cody? No?
I will say for the rest of the years, I did not put honorable mentions because I feel like Battle Royales took over the world and didn't play a lot of other games. I have top 10s for every year, but getting those top 10s I realized was getting kind of difficult because Battle Royales took over my life. 3 of them to be specific.
We are very different people, and that is okay. Let us celebrate our differences here tonight. My honorary mentions are as follows. Monster Hunter World, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Detroit Become Human, Mario Tennis Aces, We Happy Few, 2 Point Hospital, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Super Mario Party, Lego DC Supervillains, Diablo 3 Internal Edition on the Nintendo Switch. I know that was in a previous year, but I don't care. I'm adding it again because it's on the Switch now for this year. Fallout 76, when it works. Battlefield V, otherwise known as 5. Just Cause 4. And the winner is... That's what I feel like I'm doing here. Why am I talking like this? Those are my honorary mentions, though. Who wants to start their top 10 for us?
I'll go.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay. My number 10 is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This was a whole game of the Adventures of Captain Toad games from Super Mario 3D. I didn't play a ton of this because I didn't play a ton of any games during this period of time, obviously. But it was a fun, cute little game with lots of, like, they're basically just like cubes that you have to like make your way around up to the top, basically. But they're, there's little things in your way or whatever. And Toad is adorable, and they wear like little mining helmets in these games, and it's just so cute. It's a cute little game. That's it. That's my number 10.
Woo, Cody.
Well, my number 10 is Raid Shadow Legends.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear. That's my number.
Oh my God. If I never have to hear about this game again.
I enjoyed Raid Shadow Legends until everybody was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Literally everyone. That's why I don't want to hear.
I mean, yeah, that's why I said it in that voice too. But yeah, I mean, it was a really fun game. For what it was worth, and it kind of reminded me of older Final Fantasy games a little bit, not story wise, but fighting style wise, where it's kind of wait your turn to fight. But yeah, I mean, being able to upgrade your Shadow Legends and make them even better, and then progress through the whatever storyline they actually had. it was fun. It was a game that really was just a time waster on the phone. That's really what it boils down to. It was a big time waster.
Sounds like a waste of time.
A little bit, a little bit.
So I have a request. Can I have
Okay.
a request, a favor from you?
Okay.
Can you seek sponsorship for us for Raid Shadow Legends?
For Raid Shadow Legends.
Because they're going to use
I
this
can look into
soundbite.
it.
So this is what they'll use. Trevor so kindly provided this in our chat. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, one of the biggest mobile role-playing games of 2019, and it's totally free. Currently, almost 10 million users have joined Raid over the last 6 months, and it's one of the most impressive games in its class with detailed models, environments, and smooth 60 frames per second animations. All the champions in the game can be customized with unique gear that changes your strategic buffs and abilities.
That was pretty accurate. That was good.
Thank you, Trevor, for providing that. So sponsor us today.
Yeah, they're my number 10. They barely broke the top 10.
Fair.
Maybe they shouldn't. They shouldn't hear that part. But
Ty reported Trev. Oh, come on. Get out of here. That was great. That was a good moment. We had a moment there. I like it. My number 10 is actually a very important game to me. And you ready for this? So this game essentially changed a lot of things for me as far as everything that we do on this channel today. I owe this game so much, and I've put so many hours into this game without even playing the game. I've met so many amazing people. I've had so many amazing moments on Twitch. This channel has made money because of this game to give back to those that support this channel and giving away 4 consoles so far, 4 brand new consoles, plus merch and many other things. It has been able to give away a Wonder Woman watch to our very co-host on this show, which then became a co-host on this show because of this game. So I owe so much to a game that I've barely played. And that is, of course, 2K19.
So this is your first WWE game 2K WWE game that's broken your top 10?
Yes.
I'm impressed that it was as low as 10 with how pivotal it's been through everything. It has been the top thing on this channel for years.
I think if I had actually played the game, I would have a different perspective on it. But I had
This is more because not because this is a top 10 list that we enjoyed in terms of gaming. So
correct.
You not really playing the game and more just watching the game, that does change the narrative a little bit. So.
And I just felt it
That's
was,
understandable.
I didn't want to dismiss it by saying it's an honorary mention because it has had such an impact, on so many people's lives, myself included. Then it's still on a weekly basis. It's something that so many of us look forward to. So
yeah, not sure where I'd be without it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's changed a lot of people's Thursday nights, and I'm forever grateful and thankful. So I had to include it on here. But there are games I actually played. And keep in mind, I did play. I looked at my stats. I've played a total of 9 matches.
Impressive.
9 matches in this game. And also keep in mind, the series for NAW launched with 25 episodes on 2K18. We've done almost 400 episodes on 2K19. So, and Ty mentioned no 2K19, no Cody, meet Ty. So again, this game has put together so many things for people. And,
which to put that in perspective, without this game, he says that he would have never met me. But this is serious. Ty's been to my house now on multiple occasions. He's sat for me. He's watched my kids. we're going to SmackDown on October 1st. Like, we've forged like a really deep friendship because of I don't want to say it's because of the game, but without the game, it wouldn't have happened.
Right, and that's so incredible that a game could have that much impact, on your life, that so many people become connected because of a game, which ultimately led to a show that we do on this channel, which led to you being, an admin, one of the other main hosts on this channel. Like, that wouldn't have happened without this game. So it's funny. Such a little idea that I had from just a simple game turned into.
Now I feel bad that's not in my top 10. Because I did make a rule that I was not going to put yearly games on my top 10 list. So think about it now. It probably would honestly be up in the top 3. But that's more for sentimental value and not necessarily for gameplay itself.
That's why I just put it in my top 10, because I wanted to have it, again, as a talking point and not just an honorable mention, because I didn't feel it would be doing any service. And you're right. Should it be number 1? Maybe. But there are a bunch of other games on this list that I played a lot of and I thoroughly enjoyed. But yeah, that's my number 10. I could sit and be thankful about everything that game has brought me. I'll go more in depth whenever the last episode of NAW will be with my thankfulness then, and either tears of sadness or tears of joy that it's over. Who knows? But I'm thankful. So thank you, 2K19. Fuck you, 2K20. And hopeful for 2K22.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, let's take a drink. Lana, what you got?
All right. Wow, how do I follow that up? My number 9 is WWE 2K19.
Hey.
You followed up with my pick, and you rank it higher than me. What the hell?
I mean, I feel
She
the
just
same way as
buried
you
you.
guys. Like, there was no way that I could not put this on the list, given all the time put into it, and not just the time, but all the stuff that you guys mentioned, the relationships, the show itself. Like, this definitely deserved a spot on my top 10. So
You wouldn't hear my voice if it wasn't for it.
It's true.
You're so right.
It's
Yes.
We wouldn't have had that amazing 12-hour stream for charity that you raised almost $2,000.
Yep.
Like, that's
almost $2,000 for it. It was $1,900.
That's insane. Like, man, we should sell this story to 2K19 and their developers. Be like, look, give us the next game for free.
Put us in the story mode.
Put us in the story mode. Give us all
As
a
like
custom
just background
belt.
characters.
Right, something. Make us like the face template of the audience members.
Ooh,
That would
that's
be
good.
awesome,
That's good,
actually.
yeah.
I'd like that.
Honestly,
And
we should send an email. We should send
You
an email.
should. Legit.
Who's
Do
a good
it.
writer? We need a crafty writer.
Worst thing they can do is say no.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Or ignore, which is the same thing.
Rated chimed
And
in.
to
He
think-
says he wished he never met us all.
Screw you, Raiden.
Damn.
Dick.
He says he's kidding.
To think, Trav, it all started because of a raid.
It's true, though.
A Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, it goes back to the
Oh!
sponsor.
Ew.
Look at that. Sponsor us.
But my number 9 is Limbo. I don't know if you guys have played Limbo, but it's a great game. It's a puzzle game that is I don't want to say it's 2D, but it is a platformer. Very creepy in itself. I mean, you can beat it in less than an hour, but it is an extremely enjoyable game. The soundtrack to it is very soothing and nice. Yeah, for just a small little game like Limbo, it is a very enjoyable game, very relaxing game. So that's why I got my number 9 pick.
Lana noped out of that with the spider.
Yeah.
It's in there for a little bit.
This was
It just chases you
2018.
every
I
now
felt
and
like this was such a longer time ago than 2018.
Wikipedia told me 2018.
Well, I'm not discrediting the accuracy of that. It's just I feel like that's an older game. That's surprising to me. It is
Yes,
a great
sir.
game, though. Lana, you went. Cody, you went. My number 9 is Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I enjoyed the first few games. Let me make that clear. on the Spyro franchise in the PlayStation 1. And this was one that had such an incredible polish and much needed upgrade to it. But it also holds such a special place because it was a game that I got to sit down and play with Atticus on as one of his many first games that he started learning video games on. So this one was something from my past that got upgraded or remade or repolished that he could enjoy now for a new generation. So it holds that sentimental value. And it's a fun collect-a-thon game, too, with platforming. It's a really great trilogy. Highly recommend it.
Alrighty. My number 8 is We Happy Few. Which these lists were hard for me. I had to fill it to make it to 10. I don't think I've ever played We Happy Few. I think I've only watched you play it or watched it be played on like Twitch. But it's visually stunning and the story is kind of interesting.
You gotta take your joy.
Yeah, it's this island off of the coast of Britain. And during World War II, the Germans came in and they did something that they only refer to as the very bad thing. You never learn what the very bad thing is, but that's what they refer to it as. And ever since this very bad thing happened, society couldn't get over how bad it was. And so they created this pill called Joy that everybody has to take that makes them forget about the very bad thing. And they're able to function in society as happy people as long as they take this pill. And there are certain people in society that the pill doesn't affect, and they've been like outcast to the out parts of society. And then there are people that may choose not to take the pill, and they are attacked or sometimes even killed, or, it's a very fascinating story. And the visuals are absolutely fascinating too. It's set in like 60s London, so it's got that very mod vibe, all the characters and the masks that they wear. It's just a really, really interesting, fascinating story. It was very unique when it came out.
Trevor says we need that pill for the last few years. They do make antidepressants, Trevor. You should talk to your physician. They might help you out. Just don't take whatever I took that one time. That was not good.
Yeah.
Great pick, though. That was on my honorary mention.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Hello Neighbor. I don't remember playing this a lot, but this is something that my son got into mainly, even though it's pretty creepy in my opinion.
I was going to say, wait a second.
For some reason, kids love it. It has an entire section in Target, too, for toys. I don't understand it. And then my daughter also watches Trinity and Madison on YouTube. They're like these two little girl streamers, or little girls that have a YouTube channel. And yeah, they are obsessed with Hello Neighbor, too. I don't really understand it, but yeah, I enjoyed when I played it, but this goes more beyond because this is something that my kids enjoy, and being able to watch them play it, they're much better than I am at this game.
Are you familiar with that game, Lana?
No, I don't think so.
Basically, it's hide and seek, but you're like breaking into your neighbor's house.
Yeah, basically.
Alrighty.
It's fun to watch speedruns on. I'll find some stuff and send it your way one of these days.
Alrighty.
My number 8 is a remake of what got me into the series. A remake of Red and Blue, if you will. And it is known as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee editions. I, of course, got the Let's Go Pikachu version of this game. And it basically is a updated version, again, of Red and Blue versions from the Game Boy from years past. And it's continuing that Go branding, as well as incorporates aspects with the motion controls where you basically, to catch them, you have to throw it like you would swipe on your mobile phone, but you would use the Joy-Con to toss the Pokeball at them to capture them. There was no longer a straightforward battling system. You would now be just catching them. It's very kid-friendly, very approachable for anybody of all ages. The visual appeal and charm was there, just like Red vs. Blue. But the one thing that I did not enjoy was after a couple hours of play, doing this motion. I don't know if you can see me on video, but I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh, I see you.
Oh, you see me. So the forearm,
I see you, baby boy.
the forearm was a little sore. So that's my only complaint about it. Great games, though. I'm glad they dropped that particular feature in the latest Pokemon games, and I'm okay with them never reintroducing that. Trevor says, "Let's Go Pikachu" was fun. It was, and I love that he could follow you around just like Yellow version. That was cool. I love Pikachu. What can I say? Number 8.
All right.
Yep. What you got, Lana?
My number 7 is God of War. Yet another game. I feel like I'm on repeat that I've never played, but I've only watched. However, it was gorgeous, and the story was incredibly entertaining to watch. I felt like I was watching a movie, not watching somebody play a game. It was scary. It made you anxious. You know, there was a lot of action. That I'd watched Travis play the other God of War games, and they were fine. I mean, they were, they were interesting, but this game was like immersive and gorgeous and just fun, a very fun game to watch.
Trevor says good night, everyone, by the way. He is disappointed in your pick.
I know. I'm sorry, Trevor. I've never even played it, so that's why it's a little lower. But, yeah, great game. To watch, anyway. I've never played it, so I don't even know how it plays. But I remember Travis loving it, so I'm sure it's great.
It is great. We did an unboxing video for the collector's edition. A former member of DNA had the collector's edition of that. I believe they even had the exclusive PlayStation console. And then we did, a weekly Dosage episode of that where you can watch us all play it. So that is something in the very early days of the channel. But that is available. And there's a lot of pride. Trevor says I have the console. Still do. So there's a lot of pride in some obviously past and present members of the DNA crew and community that have a passion for that particular game. So you've upset Trevor, Lana. You've upset him.
I'm sorry, Trevor.
So number 7. My number 7 is Crash Insane Trilogy. I was a big fan of Crash back in like the PS1 era. So just being able to dive back into the world of Crash in a 2018 graphics kind of world, it was just a very, very nice feeling, very nostalgic. And I put a lot of hours into it. This is another one that this is one of the first games that my son actually got into and wanted to become good at. So being able to play it with him, passing the controller back and forth, this was a nice game to do it.
I'm impressed. That is not an easy game.
It's not.
And yeah, the visual updates, the same team, I believe, worked on Spyro Reignited Trilogy as well, and the incredible work that they were able to do. My number, we're at 7, right? Yep. So my number 7 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Pause for booing from Lana. Apparently that didn't happen, so...
I'm just frowning disapprovingly. So.
But this was a good game, though. Again, I love open world games. I love having a lot of things to do in exploration. But there is a point where there is just too much. And this is a game that I will never finish. There's just too much to do.
I mean, I finished it, so.
Well, look at you. Do you want like
I'll say that this one missed my top 10 because I haven't played it. It's one that I skipped because I wasn't a fan of where Assassin's Creed was at that time. I didn't like the 2 previous games, so I skipped it. And I will go back because we're going to talk about 2021 or 2020, and yeah, it may have made a return. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine game. Like, again, 7 is not bad by any means. Everyone's like, oh, what are you doing with your life? It's just a lot to do, and there are other games that captured my attention this particular year. So that's why it's a number 7. I don't feel like I have to explain myself to you. Why am I doing that? Moving on.
All right, my number 6 is yet another game that I have never played and only watched. Marvel's Spider-Man.
What? But do you... What?
What?
You're at number 6, and you have yet to play a game on your list.
I've played 2K19.
Have you, though? When did you play a match?
No.
You created your character.
I created a character, therefore I've played it. So please shut your mouth.
Oh, my God.
And technically, I have played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker because I played Adventures of Captain Toad from Super Mario 3D. So you're wrong twice. If I didn't have these games on my list, I'd have like 3 games. Okay, so shut up. Yeah, this game is beautiful. It looks fun. And I think technically I have played it. Like, Travis got up to go to the bathroom and was like, hey, swing around for a while. So I got to play. But it was a fun story to watch Travis play. Obviously, during 2018, I just sat on the couch and watched Travis play video games a lot. So
Apparently.
That should tell you what kind of amazing wife I am. Just FYI to everybody.
Man.
And that was my number 6.
And I just want to throw it out there before we continue. I don't have... Okay, I lied. I have 1 PlayStation exclusive game on my list, but that's because I am an Xbox boy. And I don't play a lot of PlayStation. So Last of Us can eat it, and Spider-Man can eat it. Yeah.
Wow.
My number 6 is God of War, because it can eat it. It was a good game, though. This is one of the few PlayStation games I did play from start to finish because I'm not a PlayStation boy. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the boy in this game as well. Seeing Kratos grow up a little bit and have to face some responsibility for his actions. That's a nice little addition to this. So yeah, and it was a beautiful game. So God of War gets the number 6 spot, and it is the only PlayStation exclusive game on this list because the other ones can eat it.
Uh-oh. Trevor says it's okay to be wrong. Ty says don't call my friend wrong. We got dissension happening. Black and white.
Well, I just said I'm not a PlayStation boy. That's what it is. Maybe if I had a PlayStation and I sat down and played Spider-Man or played Miles Morales now, maybe they would make my top 10, but I'm an Xbox boy, and I'm going to stick to be an Xbox boy, and it's going to stay an Xbox boy.
Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, the Black and White NOW is falling apart. Beep, 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 beep.
Xbox boy. But yeah, that's my number 6.
Yeehaw! My number 6 is Red Dead Redemption 2.
That was unnecessary.
You tried.
I did try.
I was honestly waiting for the pew pew at the end.
Pew pew. Yeah, this is a fine game, visually incredible, annoying with the what do you call it? The warrants. Every time you just bump into somebody on your damn horse, then everybody gets in a stupid shootout, and then you can't go to a town because you owe money to that area. Damn, that pissed me off.
Pay your fines.
I didn't have enough money to pay my.
I didn't pay your fines.
I didn't have enough money because I wasn't even that
gotta
far
rob
in the game.
people.
But then you get yourself more in trouble,
Don't get caught.
dude.
You're not breaking the law unless you get caught.
Wolfpack sucks.
I see where it stands. I hate your guts. But yeah, no, Red Dead Redemption 2.
サックス。
What is happening? That was in Japanese. That was weird. I don't know.
The following announcement has been paid for by the...
Oh, it says Wolfpack sucks.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I read Japanese.
That wasn't in Japanese. It was spoken in Japanese.
Wolfpack sucks.
There it is. Wolfpack sucks. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, visually amazing game. Story was a lot of fun. The world was expansive. It just didn't capture the attention that the first one did, Red Dead Redemption. But it was still a quality game. I had a lot of fun with it. I have not tried online. I know a lot of people are interested in that, but I understand that it's not as good online as like GTA has been online. So again, I don't know. I don't have an opinion.
Well, that's a hard feat there, bud.
Yeah. So I don't have a take on it, but yeah, 6 is Red Dead Redemption 2 for me.
All right, my number 5 is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey, pew pew.
Yeah. I had fun when I played this game. I didn't play a ton of it. I think I played a couple of hours total. So I mean, I probably got to like the first settlement or something. I mean, it's a really long game, but what I did play was fun and another visually stunning game. And I wish I had time to play more of it. But instead of doing that, here I am doing this for my husband because yet again, I'll remind everyone, I am an amazing wife. So,
what is this, pat yourself on the back podcast? This is not the show.
That's what you're supposed to do, because Xbox boy.
Wee.
Give me 1 second.
1.
No, give me another second. Trying to do something.
Are you going potty again?
No, I can't do it. I failed. Okay. My number 5. I was just trying to get the but yeah, my number 5 is Jurassic World Evolution.
Hey-o.
But you know, I couldn't. How many F-bombs do we have? I couldn't fucking get it.
I think that's one per show.
I heavily enjoyed Jurassic World Evolution. Being able to create your own park and everything like that. I was a big fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon. And this was that with dinosaurs. And being able to accidentally put your herbivore in with carnivores and have it die.
He said accidentally.
Oops, how'd that happen?
Yeah, I heavily enjoyed this game. The only thing I did not like about this game is that on multiple occasions, I would build up to the point where I would stop making money and then I couldn't build up anymore because I killed dinosaurs. So I would have to restart from scratch, which that got annoying. But other than that, this was a great game. Killing dinosaurs is fun.
Did you know that the sequel is coming out within the next month?
I did.
Much excitement. I can't pre-order yet. There's like no place to pre-order it. I don't know what's going on with that. Might have to get it digitally, I guess. Darn. Anyway, my number 5. Trevor, this is for you. God of War. Wait for it.
Fox boy. He's gonna get real mad.
Wait for
Didn't
it.
Didn't he say goodnight?
He did earlier. He go really say goodnight when it's not number 1, like he told it to me. Ty said, what year is this again? 2018.
2018.
Yep. So yeah, God of War, fantastic game. Again, we mentioned we did a weekly dosage on it. I had a lot of fun with it. I like that they revamped the control and battle mechanics. It felt more like a Dark Souls game as opposed to the hack and slash of the prior installments. Again, visually amazing, great story. I'm excited for the second half of the story. They said they're not making a trilogy. They're doing a duality? Would that be the correct term of that? So they're only going to do a second part, and that's it for this story arc. And I'm okay with that. So Ragnarok is the final half of the story, and that comes out, is it next year or the year after? which, let's be real, it'll get delayed, but it'll be worth the wait. But yeah, God of War, my number 5.
All right, my number 4 is the Spyro Reignited trilogy, which was kind of a surprise to me when it came out. I had never played Spyro ever. Obviously, I'd heard of it. I knew, the little purple dinosaur, but I'd never played a game. And I picked it up one day. I think Atticus was playing it and handed the controller to me, so I just started playing it, and it's super fun. It's a really fun game. I think I've almost beat the entire first game on it, but it's a super fun, cute little game. It's like perfect for kids. You fly around and find gems and coins and stuff.
She's even boring herself with her own explanation of it.
But it is a super cute little game, and it's really, really fun. Yeah.
My number 4 is Far Cry 5. This is my favorite one of the Far Cry games. This is one where you are in a fake city of Montana, and this is after really a doomsday type of deal. But you're going against and working with a cult the entire game, and I felt like that was pretty fun. And then the decisions you make in this game affected what the endings could possibly be. And yeah, there's 3 separate endings that you could have ended up getting. So it really depends on what type of human being you are.
Trevor can't even with me on my pick. By the way, Ty, if Cody can't be wrong, I guess your name is Tyrone. Ty says, I love Far Cry 5. It was so fun. I haven't played a Far Cry game since Far Cry 3, so it's been a minute.
That was a good one. 4 is skippable. But yeah, 5 is very good.
Yeah, I've wanted to jump back into that series, but it's always like you can only play and afford so many games. And if I had to rank things, it wouldn't be high up on my list.
I believe it's on Game Pass, so there's one of your problems taken away.
There we go. Let's dive in.
Because Xbox boy,
better than the rest. Better than the rest. My number 4 is. Is that what you're trying to do?
Trying to go on YouTube and get the actual theme, but it was too
wonky. Much. Yeah.
It's like a 7.5 minute theme that's like mainly an orchestra.
It is, yeah. I love that soundtrack. My favorite movie of all time. So it was a no-brainer. Gee, simulation, park building, Jurassic World. Yes. Let's do this. So yes, Jurassic World Evolution, my number 4 pick. Fantastic game, and yes, I dabbled in the having dinosaurs eat dinosaurs, as well as, oops, the fence broke, and now the dinosaurs are chasing the people. Because you gotta. I'm very excited for the enhancements and the new features in the second one, so I hope they deliver on that. This game was good. It had potential to be great. It had limitations. It had things as far as customizing and park layouts. I wish there was more, variety or more space to do things. The sandbox mode was nice, but it was just kind of like, here's just a large open space. There's no, terrain other than create your own. And the objectives were fine, but I just felt like some of them were too straightforward. Or you ran out of money, or if you made a mistake, that was it. Like you explained.
Yeah.
I think
and sometimes following the missions would make you run out of money, and then you would be stuck. You'd be stuck, and you would have to just restart the whole thing, which that got annoying. Yeah.
Great game though. I'm intrigued again by the sequel. It's a no-brainer that I'll be getting that one. I'm excited for it. So yeah, that's my number 4.
All right, my number 3 is the Lego Harry Potter collection. I was finally able to get the one achievement that I could not get in the original game because it was some stupid glitch that made me so mad. And I think they added some new stuff to this one 2, if I remember right. But it was really fun to get to play them all, back to back to back like that. Play through the whole book series / movie series. Gosh, I can't stop yawning. But yeah, I've said it like 1,000 times before, but Lego games will like 99% of the time end up on my list because I love them and they're super fun to play. But yeah, that's my number 3.
My number 3 is Sea of Thieves. I know you don't like Sea of Thieves, but this is a very good game on being a pirate. Just going out, and it's only fun if you have friends. If you're a loner, you're not going to have fun in this game.
See, that's why I didn't have fun. I don't have any of those.
Yeah, you got to have friends when you play this game, so you can sail around together and get treasures upon the open world.
Treasure.
And you're also going to run across those assholes that are also friends and crews that only want to destroy your ship and take your hard-earned treasure. So yeah, I mean, this is the most authentic pirate game that you could possibly play. And with the update recently, you can meet Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
So that's pretty cool.
But the rum. But why the rum?
Over the years, it has gotten a lot better. I will say, when it was back then, it was kind of clunky and rough. It was a beautiful game, but it just felt rough. But now they've
like your mother
done plenty of updates in the past couple years, and have fixed everything from fishing to cooking to everything else to make it a much more enjoyable experience as a pirate boy.
So hear me out. I don't think I gave it a fair enough chance. I was a bit overwhelmed the first time I tried it, and I was scolded by the people that were playing in my session.
It really doesn't give you a tutorial on anything.
No,
you're kind of thrown to the wolves.
And I didn't know what I was doing, and I was playing with skilled players who were also role-playing in voice chat when I was in their session, because they were yelling at me to go to the starboard side and then do tasks and then do the raise. They were telling me to freaking pilot the ship. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what buttons did what. I didn't know how to navigate. I didn't know anything. And they're all like 100% roleplay character doing pirate voices and telling people to go certain parts of the ship, man this, do that. And I'm like,
I can see how that would be annoying, and you're just trying to learn the game, and you got assholes thinking that you're a professional.
Yeah.
I think that was your problem, is that you went in alone, and you didn't have helpful people that were like willing to show you the ropes.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you got into a game where the crew was actually willing to show you the ropes and knew that you were new at the game and they wanted to teach you little things here and there, I think you would have enjoyed it much, much more. And that's why I say if you're going to play this game, play with friends, because you will have a terrible time if you don't play with friends.
I mean, it makes sense. And I uninstalled it after that.
Understandable.
So I was like, this ain't for me. You guys are all super serial. And that's okay. Plus, like you said, it was
a bad deck.
Yeah, I was. It was early days too of the game, like you said. So like, it wasn't what it is known as now. So it just, I don't know, it didn't appeal at that time to me. The whole traveler thing was appealing, which leads me to my number 3 pick. I haven't been doing very well with segues, but here's one for you. Octopath Traveler is my number 3. Anyone familiar with this game?
Nope.
I mean, I feel like I probably watched you play it or heard of it. Yeah.
So Square put out another RPG game, a JRPG. Imagine that, in a retro-bit pixel art style, and you play as one of 8, and you eventually build your crew up to the 8 members and doing various tasks, and each has its own backstory and a reason why they're joining your party to go on this mission. Incredible game. Like, I was blown away by the art style and the turn-based fights, and just the way they do the battle system is refreshing but yet familiar. and it's just another fun JRPG. Highly recommend it, and it is on the Switch. Go figure.
All right. My number 2 is Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. I think it came out on the Switch this time. I think this one is.
Yep, this is the Switch port here.
I think the Switch version is the version that we probably played the most. I don't know if that's true or not, but we definitely sunk a hell of a lot of hours into this one. It was easy to play, like, while wrangling the kiddo. And, like, the second half of this year, I was pregnant, so it was super easy to play while just sitting on the couch, which I did a lot of because I was very sick when I was pregnant with Theo. But yeah, we played the crap out of this one, and it's fun. I love the Diablo game. Diablo 3, anyway. I haven't played any of the other ones, but...
It's wild, like, us talking about this year and you, like, saying that you were pregnant with Theo, because I remember you being pregnant with Theo.
Yeah.
So that's, like, the crazy part, because I was a part of the community at this point in time.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I always forget about that, like, for a very large part of, like, Gnaw and DNA, I was super knocked up.
Yeah, I mean, June of 2018 was when Gnaw launched.
Yeah, and that was a year before Theo was born, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. That's really funny, Cody.
But my number 2, I did it right. Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, he did it. Number 2 at a number 2. Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, this was a great game. It wasn't the best game of the year, but it was... let me rephrase that. It was the best single-player game this year, I believe. I heavily enjoyed this game. I loved Red Dead Redemption 1, so being able to move over to Red Dead Redemption 2, and it being a completely different story as well. I think that's the best part of this game, is the story aspect of it. It did have a very immersive storyline to it if you played it all the way throughout, and by the end you'll be in tears. This is one of the few games that did break me almost to tears, because of how good the story was and how it kind of unfolds at the end. Because spoiler alert, your main character is trying to get out of this life, and he keeps getting dragged back in as soon as he thinks he's going to get. And then at the end, he eventually is on the brink of getting out, and his sickness that he gets about halfway through the storyline catches up to him, and he ends up dying because of it. But then, as soon as you beat that game, your best friend that was in the crew, who had a family, you got him out of it. So that was the feel good moment, and then you play as him for a couple missions at the end, and then you can explore with him as well. So it was just such an amazing game. The visuals were great. The shooting style is great. How you can slow things down and go into sharpshooter mode, and be able to be a quick draw legend. Yeah, I think the story alone is what puts this so high up on the list.
And isn't it like it's a prequel, right, to the first Red Dead? Like, it sets up the very beginning of...
You do see your person from Red Dead 1, but
John Marston.
It's not for long. Yeah, it's more of just a homage to it, but yes, it is the prequel.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But yeah, great game. That's my number 2.
Nice. My number 2 is an ultimate pick.
Oh god, here we go. There's your set.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Nintendo
Is it
Switch.
weird? I looked down as you said that, and I saw one of my wife's socks, and it has the Mario star on it. My eyes are just looking at me as you're saying it.
It's a sign. It's a sign. Trevor never played Red Dead 1, but they played or loved Red Dead 2. Man, you really should play Red Dead 1.
Red Dead 1 was great.
Yeah, it's such a good game. I talked about that in a prior episode, actually, in the zombie stuff, too. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, where do you go from here with this franchise? Because You include every character in the history of all the games, including a ton of new ones via DLC, all the maps, all the soundtracks.
Not the one we all want.
Which one do we all
How
want?
they gonna leave Waluigi like that?
Oh, do anyone actually really want Waluigi though?
I would love Waluigi on there.
Isn't he a assist trophy though?
No,
You sure? I'm pretty sure he's an assist trophy.
I don't think so.
No, Trevor, no PlayStation All Stars. Damn it. No. Nickelodeon is yeah. Fat Princess. The Nickelodeon All Stars game is coming out. Have you guys seen that yet?
Yes.
It's their take on everything. I think that's interesting for fans of the Nickelodeon stuff.
I may test it out.
Yeah, it looks interesting. But yeah, Super Smash Brothers. I mean, I can't say anything more positive about it. It is the ultimate version of this series, and it's fun. And it's another game that Atticus thoroughly enjoys, and he's had a lot of fun with unlocking characters and playing it. Yeah, great game. There's only one game that can beat it out, obviously.
I don't think that I like Super Smash Bros. That much because I never had somebody to play it with. So I'm also like really, really bad.
Oh,
Because I never had anybody to play with, so I never sat down and played Super Smash Bros. And I know a lot of people scold me for that because it is a beloved game. But yeah, I didn't have any friends that played that game, so I never really got into it.
the
People can
co-host.
scold me all day. I hate
Get out
hate
of here.
the Smash Brothers games.
The co-host
So
on our
bad at
music podcast, Stablegun, aka Justin, he's another huge fan of the Smash Bros. Series. So I always had somebody to play them with, and he would also teach me a lot of the things and the skills because he played competitively. Like he was really good at the game.
Yeah, I feel like there's a large skill gap in that game.
There is, and there's a lot.
Because I get wrecked whenever I even pick it up, and I'm just like, not for me. Not for me.
You have to pick a main, and I know that's like lingo for competitors, but it's fact. You have to get good with a specific character or characters, because you will get schooled otherwise. If you're playing against somebody who has a primary character and they're good with them, you're going to get owned every time. That is a fact. So you have to focus. You can't just pick a character because you think you like the character. You have to figure out your play style and then adapt it and utilize it with that character because each has an advantage and disadvantage. So there's a lot of meta to the game. I think that's what's fascinating about it too. And I had the privilege of actually being in commentary on a tournament before as well when we traveled for DNA in the early days, and that was a lot of fun. Being able to actually call professional matches. Check that off on the resume list. It is a proud moment for me. I never thought I'd be able to be commentary at a tournament, but did that. That was cool. Number one's though. What do we got?
Do you want to guess mine before I say it?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
This game, I think I still have parts of this game that I have to play. I don't think I've ever 100%ed this one. It takes place during the time in Greece when it was Athens versus Sparta. There's a lot of Greek mythology in it. You can play as a male or a female protagonist. The female protagonist is Cassandra. There's a big story with her family in the beginning, and then obviously it sets up the big. But this map is huge. There is so much stuff to do, but it never feels repetitive to me. I adore these games. Adore them. And this one is really fun because of the Greek mythology stuff, which I've always really enjoyed. So it's super, super fun. Definitely an easy number one. The rest of this list was difficult, but that one was easy.
Shout out Batman says they got to go. It's 4 a.m. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by as always. No, again, I said what I said on Odyssey, though. I'll agree with you. It's a great game. It's just the scope of it. It's too much.
Yeah, like I said as well, that's the one Assassin's Creed game that I did skip because I had not enjoyed the two prior to this. Wasn't a fan of Black Flag, and I wasn't a fan of whatever the American Revolutionary,
Oh,
whatever one it was.
there were so many in between that you missed. Like the one where they had like the facial glitch where it was just eyeballs and the rest of the skull was like missing.
That's
That was
that's Unity.
Unity. Syndicate was pretty okay. But yeah, Unity was a broken mess.
Yeah, I just wasn't a fan at that point. I absolutely loved the Assassin's Creed games up to that, or up to that era, and then kind of fell off for me because of those two games. I just didn't enjoy them, and I gave up. But once we talk some more, we'll get back to that. But do you want to guess my number one?
It's a battle royale.
PUBG.
Mm-mm. My number one, which it might be cheating, this Fortnite Battle Royale. It was the Save the World was my number one for 2017. 2018 Fortnite Battle Royale took over the entire world.
Well,
Yeah, it's
almost.
ridiculous how much that Fortnite took over. As we talked about, because of Fortnite Battle Royale, we have had concerts in game by Marshmello, Travis Scott, and Ariana Grande.
Say it again.
Uh, Ariana Grande. There is,
Yeah.
which also had an homage to Mac Miller in it, who was passed away.
Oh yeah.
So he was in that concert. And she was going up the stairway to heaven while he was singing, so it was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, it honestly just took over the world and united people as well, I would say. This is probably well, I know on Twitch it was the most watched game, and honestly, I think it's still pretty high up there, at least top three. But for years, it was just the game. That is the game everybody played, everybody talked about. Um, and I say everybody, but I mean most people because you're probably not one of those people that really tested out Fortnite too heavy. Um,
I played maybe 10 matches in my life.
yeah, but it was just an absolutely like game-changing game that came out. Like I said, they now have a bunch of celebrities. They have DC characters. They have Marvel characters. This Battle Pass that just came out on the 15th has Carnage. Um, they've gone deep. They've gone deep. Some may say it's selling out, but I think they're buying in because they're making a lot of money. Even to this day, they're making a lot of money. A normal skin costs about $20, and yeah, people are buying
What?
these skins. Uh, Pretty much
$20?
everything they put out gets bought. Yeah, for the Halo, the whole bundle. So I got the Master Chief that you saw. It also came with what did it come with? It came with a Cortana backpack. It came with the Warhammer, I believe. Or no, came with the Gravity Hammer. And then also the Pelican. Also an emote where you're driving a Warthog, a mini Warthog. But yeah, that was $20 to get all of that combined.
Jesus.
Um, but yeah, even today it's still going strong. It's still in the top three for games being viewed right now as we speak. The only ones above that are Warzone and Apex, which are also battle royales. Um, but yeah, it just changed the world, and kids are obsessed with Fortnite. Kids are constantly, whenever you see kids, they're always doing Fortnite dances. I don't know what it is, but they're always hitting the floss or orange justice or something. Yeah, it absolutely changed gaming, I believe. PUBG was technically the first battle royale in this era, but Fortnite made it much, much better and much bigger.
And I mean, it's turned somebody like Ninja, as you described in the other episode, into multimillionaire from just playing a game.
And not just him. tons of other people.
Yeah, many people.
That's the
I'm
crazy
saying
part.
he's the most
Guys,
notable, but
yeah, guys like Ninja and Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo and Dr. Disrespect, all those guys that everybody knows about, Booga, all are multi-millionaires because of a video game. And honestly, a lot of streamers, big name streamers like that, credit Fortnite for blowing up Twitch and making Twitch what it is today.
yeah. I'll be honest, Battle Royals ain't my thing, so never really got into that. I tried with PUBG. That was the closest I got to actually liking one of them. Dabbled in Fortnite, like I said, just a handful of matches. Tried Apex, wasn't for me. Like I try them, they're just not my thing. I did Call of Duty's version of it. Like it's not my thing. I understand the appeal to it, but me.
Fortnite currently has 103,000 viewers right now as we speak at 11 o'clock at night.
That's just crazy.
And that's only on Twitch, which is becoming the number 2 streaming service behind YouTube.
I was going to say, everyone is headed back to YouTube now.
Yeah, everybody's going to YouTube.
Because I think, Dr. Disrespect is no longer on Twitch. Tim the Tatman is headed to YouTube, or is on YouTube now.
He just switched over to YouTube about 2 weeks ago. He followed Dr. Lupo, who, if you don't know who Dr. Lupo is, he has raised millions upon millions of dollars for St. Jude. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, and then Ninja is back on Twitch now. He went over to I'm blanking. It went out of business.
Mixer.
Yeah, it was like Microsoft's version of
it was
Twitch
Mixer.
or something.
He was contracted with
Mixer
because they signed a deal.
But when they closed down, he came scurrying on back. But yeah, it's made millionaires. There's right now the top person on Twitch playing Fortnite has 18.1 thousand viewers, and they're in a $10,000 tournament finals. So that just explains what Fortnite is. And this is 3 years ago in 2018, and this is what it's become even today. So
just madness.
That's my take on why it's number 1. And yeah, I myself played quite a bit of Fortnite when it first came out.
Well, I don't have that much of an elaborate story for my number 1 pick because it doesn't need one. All I gotta say is Marvel Spider-Man, and you understand.
Xbox boy.
I don't care. Marvel Spider-Man. Like, I'll set aside console wars. This game is amazing. Pun intended. It's a such. I've played through this story so many times. I played through it remastered when the PS5 came out because it came with the Miles Morales version. Played through that. This is a significant game too. It was the very first platinum trophy that I ever got on PlayStation, meaning I did everything 100% in that game. Unlocked all the trophies, did all the challenges, did all the tasks, did all that stuff. I was hooked. I was caught in its web, you could say.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, we could talk all day before. We did a Game of the Year episode for DNA back in 2018, where we just did our Game of the Years. Picks just on single game wasn't as elaborate
Xbox
as
boys.
this. Trevor says a great game just behind God of War. It's okay to be wrong. But yeah, Spider-Man, fantastic game. I loved Miles Morales. Finished that one. I'm incredibly anticipating Spider-Man 2. However, I don't think it comes out until 2023, so I got such a long wait. That'll have Spider-Man teaming up again with Miles Morales, which if you played Miles Morales, he was absent for a majority of the story there because he had to step away to travel, and then Miles Morales took over to protect the city. In the end, they came back together. But this one introduces Venom as one of the antagonists. That is Spider-Man 2 coming up in 2 years. So I'm anxious for that. I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. But that is my number 1 pick. Absolutely love Spider-Man. What's not to like about it? And yes, Venom. Very excited.
Oh, speaking of Venom, he's in Fortnite.
Oh God, of course he is.
Don't tell Atticus.
Oh, he's super high. He thinks he's gonna watch Carnage. He's being Carnage for Halloween. So
Oh, well, Carnage is in Fortnite right now.
yeah, we're gonna refrain from telling.
Just got there.
Yeah, I love the idea that he thinks he's going to watch that. No, sir.
No,
You are not watching
PG-13.
I did love the trailer though, where Venom goes back in and he's like, "He's a red guy. He's a red guy." And it's like, "I'll let you eat as many people as you want." You mean it? That made me laugh.
It's good stuff. Like Venom was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Trevor says they moved it to 2023 because they didn't want to lose Game of the Year to God of War again. I think you mean the other way around, but that's okay. But that's all right. That is 2018. We have 2 more years to discuss yet tonight, so stick with us. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for 2019 to give our top 10s from there. Our biggest challenge, can we do it faster? I felt like 2018 was our longest year yet.
That's because you love to talk, my darling.
Whatever. We'll be right back with you guys on the next episode. Stick with us. And again, thank you for checking out episode 133 of The Dosage. This has been the year 2018 in gaming. We'll be right back.